Thank you so much, Manish. We've got the signal that we are live now on Facebook as well. So, very warm welcome to our Facebook viewers. Once again, let me introduce myself. My name is Kaveri Misra, and I have our subject matter expert, Pranav Devan, here with us.
Good morning.
In this session today, we are once again bringing to you an amazing set of products from Ceasefire. Ceasefire, as we all understand, is a 360-degree firefighting solution provider. It's a global company. We are found in the length and the breadth of the country, all across, with our offices, with our warehouses, logistics centers, and of course, with the complete range of firefighting solutions. Our range of firefighting solutions consists of humongous number of varied fire extinguishers, which are not only the very popular water, foam, carbon dioxide, etc., but apart from that, the very specialized application fire extinguishers like a launcher, the water mist, the wet chemical, the metal fire extinguishers, B+, and many more. Now, along with this, we have a very wide range of products or other solutions apart from the firefighting extinguishers for the kitchen range. So, Pranav, as I understand, we have both the domestic as well as the commercial
kitchen.
in two different ranges.
Water mist and wet chemical.
So, both water mist as well as wet chemical in the domestic range and the commercial range as well. Apart from that, we have our evacuation systems, the fire alarm systems, and last but not the least, we have our total flooding systems as well. Today, our discussion is going to primarily be about two very amazing firefighting solutions, which are the total flooding solutions. But before that, I would also like to tell you that the Ceasefire products are significantly, when you look at the quality aspect of it, the quality quotient is much higher than anything that you can find in the market today. One of the things that makes us take the pride in the kind of products that we have are the fact that we have not only cleared, but we have surpassed a number of stringent tests by various standard agencies across the world, which would include BIS, BSI, Eurosat, EN, PED, NAD, FTC. All of these standards, or whatever they stand for, are being complied by us. Not only in the form of what our products get as certification, but also our production unit, which is ISO 9001 and OSAS certified, and also complies to the FTC guidelines. Now, the products that we are going to discuss are the total flooding products, two different products, one being the Atomex, which is a retrofittable fire suppression system, and the second is a total flooding system using the HFC 227EA gas. So we call it the HFC 227EA total flooding system. Now, both these systems are customized, and the reason why I'm talking to you about this is the fact that to be able to have a customized solution, you need experienced designers to design this. Ceasefire has another feather of its cap because we have an extensive team of extremely experienced engineers in our design team who, understanding your needs, would create the perfect solution for you for these customizable solutions that are there. Now, without any further delay, let me invite Pranav here to talk about our two products, the Atomex and the HFC 227EA total flooding system. So, all to you.
So, good morning, viewers. We have two fantastic products in total protection for any kind of enclosure. Where it could be a room, it could be an electrical room, it could be a genset room. And here we have two kinds of solutions in total flooding, where we can have either a water mist protection, or we can have a gas-based solution. Now, in the gas-based solution, we have two kinds of products which are available, as Kaveri informed you. One is the Atomex on one hand, and we have our total flooding HFC 227EA flooding system, which we call, on the other hand. In the Atomex range, we have also a possibility to have total flooding system using powder.
Wow. Okay. So we have, apart from the gaseous, we also have powder.
We also have powder
Okay.
in that range. So I have behind me very a 2 kg Atomix, a very simple solution. It is mounted on the ceiling curving, and we have a solenoid actuator for the valve, and you have a separate barrel which can be 360 degrees or 180-degree barrel, and you can just fit it onto the ceiling, and your solenoid will actuate the system and discharge the content.
So what you are telling me is because it is there, viewers, it is mounted on the ceiling on a base, and therefore it not only allows the Atomix allows for the space which is the premium space which is on the floor or the walls to be utilized for whatever operational work that the organization is doing. So it leaves that area free for any operational work. Plus, at the same time, it does not need any kind of excess fittings and wiring, etc. And therefore, there is no structural disturbance that needs to happen. It's very fast.
It's very fast, and it can be retrofitted into areas. Look at heritage buildings where you you're not allowed.
Yes, we're not allowed to do anything
So
there. Yeah.
you cannot change the structure. So this kind of equipment can be very useful there. I also foresee another advantage with Atomic system, where if you consider that you have multiple enclosures spaced out from each other, and a single gas plant would not work for various kind of enclosures. So what I can do is I can have my fitments of Atomics fitted into each one of these rooms as per the regulatory requirement of volume. And then I can operate each of them individually by not having just a GRP. I can also have, say, a fire alarm system which has an incorporated GRP.
That's a gas release panel.
That's a gas release panel which controls your discharge, monitors your system. So the GRP can be used in such a manner for individual or at the most a couple of enclosures. But if I want to do multiple enclosures, which are small in size, not very large, and I want to control them or discharge using my Atomic content into various of these enclosures, then you can use a fire alarm panel, which has an inbuilt gas release panel functionality into it, and it can work very well. So with the total flooding, you can have a modular approach to it.
Wonderful. But here, viewers, what I would like to bring to your notice is that when we're looking at the design team designing the entire Atomex for you, they have a variety and a number of sizes of the Atomex to play with. For example, both MAC and gas.
Gas, you have your 2 kg, 5 kg, 10 kg, and 15 kg.
Absolutely. So you have not only a variant as far as the agent is concerned, but also when you're looking at it, you have the variants as far as the size is concerned.
And
so how does it work?
Before I show them how it works, or I tell them about it, the most important part is when we were looking at ceiling mounted extinguishers earlier on, people wanted to put in ceiling mounted extinguishers, but when they were placing more than one extinguisher, they could not achieve total flooding. They couldn't achieve that kind of a concentration within that enclosure.
Of course, because then each individual had to understand, recognize the fire and then burst.
Yes, they were temperature controlled.
Yes.
So if you had one extinguisher bursting and the other one not, you might have a discharge, you might have a suppression, but not a complete extinguishment. And by the time the next one bursts or the next one bursts,
so it was more localized rather than the total area.
So Atomex has now allowed you that kind of control. So it has allowed you that you can put in and use your ceiling mounted extinguishers as a total flooding.
Wonderful. So that's the way Ceasefire works. We take initiatives, we look at what we have, we look at the advanced technologies that we use, and we convert them into further more different solutions for you. Now here, are you saying that all the ceiling mounted units that we put in Atomex can be what should I say? Can be started, actuated at the same time?
They can all be actuated at the same time, and they can be operational as per the requirements of total flooding systems. As per, say, requirement of your LPS 1230 for total flooding. Okay, these equipments can also be simulated to work like that.
All right. So would you like to tell our viewers how exactly does this work?
Okay.
There is a concept known as cross-zoning, viewers, and I would like you to hear what that means.
Okay, so this is how it is going to function. We divide each of the zones or voids within the room with two zones at least, in which are connected to our gas release panel, the GRP. I'm going to use GRP again and again. So I'm going to state the GRP is the gas release panel. The GRP monitors the health of the system. It also controls the discharge of the system. It allows for electromechanical release. The discharge can also be aborted in case of emergencies. So that all functionality is available with Atomix. In case of total flooding, you will have another feature available that where you can mechanically also release the gas instead of doing it electrically. Now the functionality is pretty simple in both the cases. One is the automatic approach. The automatic approach, what happens is that you have two zones which is covering all the points. If any one of the zone is activated by at least one of the detectors which is placed within that zone, then the system will give an alarm. We call it, some people call it pre-alarm, some people call it alarm, but I would rather call it this alarm. This alarm can, if in case a GRP is connected, can be translated and sent to a fire alarm panel. Okay. Now the second scenario would be that any one of the zones is activated, and post that the other zone is activated again by at least one more detector.
So you mean to say in both those zones, at least one of the alarms should be activated.
Or alternatively, you can say any one of the zones gets activated. One by one detector or multiple detectors. And of course, you have a wide range of detectors depending on what kind of application you have. You have UV detectors, you have smoke detectors, you have heat detectors, rate of rise detectors, combination detectors. So all kinds of detectors as per the requirement are available. So if both the zones gets activated, the system goes into something called a delay time, and post that delay time, the system can get activated. If you want to abort the discharge, then you can press the abort button, which of course I will show you a little while at my AI center. And then post abort, you can reset the system, and the system can be again discharged as and the way you want it to discharge.
Wonderful. So, guys, let us move on to the AI Center where Pranav will show us the Atomix as well as demonstrate its power through the demonstration.
Today we are going to give you a demonstration of the Atomix. Viewers, welcome to our AI Center. Today we are going to give you a demonstration of the Atomix system. Our Atomix system consists of a extinguishing agent which can be mounted onto the ceiling. It can be controlled and discharged by a solenoid which is connected to the head of the valve of the cylinder and controlled by a gas release panel which we call GRP. This system can operate in two methods. One is the manual system and the other is the automatic system. In the automatic system, we have detectors connected in two zones. Various type of detectors as per the requirements can be used. Detection in any one of the detectors in any one of the zone indicates an alarm on the panel and your strobe siren lights up. When both the zones are activated by at least one detector being active on both the zones, then the GRP can go into a delay state, and after the delay it can discharge the extinguishing agent into the volume to be protected. The GRP can also operate in only manual mode, where the automatic mode is disabled and you can activate the system only by the manual release. When both the modes are active, that is the automatic mode and the manual release, the system can be discharged by the use of the activation of zones or by the manual release. The system can also be aborted. That means the system's activation can be paused or interrupted by the pressing a abort switch. Once the abort switch is pressed, the system goes into a pause stage and it is essential to reset the system before it can be discharged again. Atomex has quite a lot of advantages. Atomex can be retrofitted into any volume. Say you have a site where you cannot do any kind of piping from the gas bank to the discharge nozzle, then Atomex system is most useful in this case where no piping requirements are there. It also saves you on any ground space which will be taken up by a gas bank. So, for the purpose of this demonstration, what we have done is that we have taken a 2 cubic meter volume, an enclosed volume which is protected by a 2 kg Atomex cylinder. We are going to place 5 cups within this enclosure, and once the smoke rises, it will be detected by zone 1 or zone 2. When both the zone gets activated, the system will go into a delay timer of 10 seconds. Post the 10-second discharge timing, delay time getting over, the system will now discharge and extinguish the flame. So let's look at the demonstration. Please put in the cups. We'll place 1 cup in front, light, the flame is on. We'll keep a close watch on our detectors. A red LED lighting in any of these detectors will indicate an activation. Zone 2 has activated. So we have a pre-alarm. Zone 1 is also active now. Our discharge time has started. 5, 3, 2, 1, discharge. The flame has been extinguished. With your alarm switched off, the system is ready to be reset. The fire is extinguished and there is no reignition inside. This is a conventional gas release panel. The specialty of this panel is that it can record up to 500 events which can be monitored on the panel itself. So thank you so much for joining us at AI Center. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Bye. Viewers, welcome to our...
Today we're going to give you a...
Okay, so
So that was the Atomex, and I saw the installation seems to be very unobtrusive and simple. Therefore, the maintenance as well as installation is easy here.
pretty easy. We have a pressure gauge on the valve itself, which can be monitored on a daily basis, and you can actually, if I bring it close, you can monitor this pressure indicator, okay, and you can do your minimal maintenance requirement or monitoring requirement on a daily basis.
So now the next product that we will be talking to you about, Brother Pranav, we will be talking at length with you people, and also showcasing through a demonstration is the HFC 227EA total flooding system. One system which is LPCB certified
To the standard of NPS 1230.
and uses the amazing clean agent which leaves no residue. That means if after a fire, there is no cleanup required due to the fire protection process that happens. You may need to clean up something because of the fire, but the gases escape, allowing the area to remain clean and putting out the fire very, very fast. The operation of how the system works, I'll leave that to the expert who will tell us more about it.
So the way we got our Atomex working, the only addition to HFC 227EA system is the mechanical release, and in case you have a gas pan, where Atomex, in contrast to Atomex, which is released by individual solenoids, In case of a gas tank, we can have a singular solenoid, and the whole gas tank can be released with pneumatic attachment on the heads of these individual valves. You have only one solenoid which actuates the gas, the master cylinder, and all the slave cylinder which is connected via manifold to the piping system can be activated pneumatically. So that is one way of activating your gas tank, so which is quite different from your atomics. And the other way would be the mechanical release. Again, you can have pneumatically system connected, but by way of using pull station and pulleys, you can have a mechanical release of the master cylinder to or the lone cylinder, which is available.
So a master cylinder is one which would have a number of other cylinders along with it, so that a larger volume of space can be protected. And with the sole one, you of course would have comparatively less amount of volume of space being protected. So where would you say that how would the atomics be different from the total flooding system that we know?
I would look at volumes ranging between 60 to about 120 cubic meters, which would be more suited to your atomics.
Okay.
But if you're going above 100, say about 160, 300 cubic meters, and you're going above that, then it's best suited to use a gas tank, or you use a pure flooding system with a single solenoid, which works out to be much better and far more control.
Okay.
But if you have space, if you have no other option but to avoid piping, then there's no other way to go but atomics.
So that's where people come, they come to a standstill, because more often than not, the only solution we have to protect an area, a big area, is to use total flooding. But if the total flooding or other structure does not allow for any changes in the structure, does not allow for any breaking of the wall or the floor or something of the sort, then one is stuck. That is where our atomics comes into play. But for now, let us allow the total flooding system, that is HFC 227EA, to take on the reins, and let's move on to the AI
Let's
center.
move on to the AI center and look at the demonstration of HFC 227EA total flooding system. This is
Hello viewers, my name is Pranat Devan. Welcome and to join me at Ceasefire's Advanced Intelligence Center. Today I have got you a demonstration of the Ceasefire's total flooding system with HFC 227EA. Let's look at our arrangement over here. We have got a 1.1 cubic meter enclosure where we have fitted a nozzle on top, and then we have two detectors on the ceiling of this enclosure which are attached to two separate zones. Now the heart of the whole system is our GRP or our gas release panel. On this gas release panel, let me show you the inside of the gas release panel. We have a manual release on the gas release panel, a watch switch which is connected to this panel, two backup batteries, and then we have a keypad which can control this panel, and it also has your coding on it. On this panel we can look at the fire situation, fault, discharge, and other kinds of indications which can be useful in the time of fire. Now the GRP is also connected to electromechanical release which is connected to the head of the valve of the cylinder in which the gas is stored. The pressure of this gas is also noted and is indicated by this PGS or pressure gauge switch. If there is 10% drop in pressure, then the switch will give a low pressure indication onto the GRP or a gas release panel. Now the ways in this system can work is that you can have you can have a mechanical release where you do not require any electricity. All you have to do is remove the safety pin after breaking the safety seal and downing this lever, which could be an arrangement of pulleys and pull lever. On the other hand, electrically we can also actuate this system by electromechanical release. If we come over here, I will show this system to you. Say you detect a fire and your automated system has not functioned at present. So I can do a manual release. A countdown starts on the GRP. After 10 seconds it will release. I can also press a abort and I can pause this system. So at present, if it is an automatic release or a manual release, let me silence this thing first. So if it's a your manual release or it is automatic release, the system can be aborted, and that has to be done within your delay time. In our case it was 10 seconds. I aborted the system. Now I can reset the system and we can see how after 10 seconds the electromechanical release comes out with a spin and it actuates the system. So let me reset it first. The system has been reset. So after abort, the system has to be reset before it can function again. So again I'm going to do electric release from the panel. The countdown begins. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So the pin has come out and this would have actuated the valve and the gas would have been released within the chamber. So let's look at the demonstration of this system with actual fuel. Okay viewers, for the purpose of the demonstration, I'm going to place 4 cups within this enclosure. The enclosure size is about 1.1 cubic meter, as I said before. I'm going to use 600 grams of gas, which is going to be discharged by an electromechanical release when both the zones get activated. So this is what's going to happen, or what you can observe is that one of the detectors is going to get activated at one time, and that means one zone. If any one detector in any one zone gets activated, that means you get an alarm. So a strobe siren will light up over here. Strobe sirens are usually a lot of help when we are trying to help people with hearing impairment, or people who won't be able to hear the alarm for some reason or the other. Maybe they have mufflers on their ears. So a strobe light indicates emergency. Now, when both the zone gets activated, it is only then that the gas release panel is going to go into a countdown. After the countdown is finished, as I had shown you earlier, the electromechanical release will send out a spin and discharge this gas. Once the gas is started, or it has the flow has started for the gas, it will not stop till all the gas has been released. So let's go ahead and look at this demonstration. So first let's put in the cups. So let's put these cups in 4 corners, a little further in, yes. Very good. Okay, so we have our cups in place. So let's light the fire. So as the smoke rises, we should see any one of these zones getting activated. First, system is ready. So the GRP has its own battery inside, which will help to function it in case of a power failure. It can also indicate that, in case there's a power failure, it will give that kind of indication too. It's a commercial panel which can be linked to any addressable panel. So we have activation of one of the zones. So we have an alarm. We have one zone activation. We are waiting for the second zone as activated now. Both the zones are active. So we countdown is ready. 3, 2, 1, 0. And that's the discharge. So let me silence the alarm first and then I will talk a little more. So as you see, HCFC discharges do not leave quite a lot of residue. They are very good for server rooms and sensitive areas where residue can harm the equipment. Visibility is pretty good. I can see the back of the enclosure from here, and slowly and steadily as the soot settles down, we'll have more clarity inside, more visibility inside. So as I was telling you, this is the commercial panel which will be able to be connected to a addressable panel via input module. This has 500 event log memory which can be seen on the panel itself. So viewers, I hope you like the demonstration, and that's all from my end at AI Center.
How did you like that?
Actually, what made me feel good about this particular system was not just the efficiency of the system. So viewers, you did see the efficiency of the system where, Pranav was just saying this is going to happen and this is going to happen and things continuously kept happening automatically. But at the same time, I was also amazed to see the gas work so fast on the fire. I understand that it takes less than 10 seconds for this gas, that is HFC-227EA, to start putting out or starting its firefighting action.
The discharge has to be within 8 to 10 seconds. That is the requirement of the safety for the standard of LPH 123.
It's live. It's live.
Nice.
Extremely sorry for the small technical glitch. We are open to taking questions from you viewers. You can put questions either on the Q&A tab or on the chat. For the Facebook viewers, we would be happy to respond to your questions on the Facebook. So do not hesitate to put questions there. So as far as the application areas for these two products are concerned, both can be very useful or protect areas such as the server rooms, battery rooms, the BMC control areas, as well as the site control areas. The Atomex is also very well suited to server racks.
It's suited to server racks. You can also have faster detection system. You can have your detectors within the server, which could be an indicator. Then
So
what
we
is the
have
maximum area that can be covered? Say, example, shopping mall and supermarket. Girish Ramachandran. Girish, you need to be more specific as to what equipment are you talking about, Atomex or total flooding. As I would, if I were to answer both of them, then I've already answered that Atomex is more feasible solution up to 120 to 160 cubic meter. And anything above that, if you are doing, then you have your total flooding system. But the height limitation is there. You have to be within 4 meters.
Okay. What is that? We've already covered that, Manish. Let us get into Kenneth D'Souza wants to know what is the cost of the system. Well, this is a customized system which the cost of which will be worked on after the input, rather the measurements of the area that has to be protected are provided, and the design is created for that specific area. That is when the cost can be worked out. An arbitrary cost or a generalized cost cannot be given for the particular products, both of them, be it Atomex or be it your HFC 227A total flooding system.
And it can be easily obtained from a design team. Kaveri, we have my friend here, Prasanna Mahapatra. He's asking me a question. How many atoms can be controlled by a single panel? Mahapatra, I've mostly spoken about in a lot of occasions. There is no doubt as to how many equipment we can operate. Each of these solenoids require 24 volt supply with just 0.5 amp requirement of current. So if I wanted to operate 16 of these to one panel, all I need to do is connect the output of my panel to one relay, and that relay should be capable of supplying that amount of voltage and current to all of these systems. So I can go up to 16, 17, whatever the number may be. But then again, if I'm going above 4, it makes much more sense to do a total flooding than to go in for an atomic system. I hope Mahapatra, I've answered your question.
If customer wants Atomex to be active on smoke even before flame, for Atomex, is it possible?
Yes, it is possible because
Smoke detectors you can use for detection?
Yes, if you have smoke, in my simulation, I had to produce a flame. But if I had put out the flame and let the equipment just smother through, if you have smoke, yes, of course it can function. If your detector detects it, and even if you do not have a flame, then you can function that way.
So I hope, Prasanna, that gives you your answer. It depends also on the nature of the detector that you're using. Here, if a smoke detector would be very, very effective. Apart from the various components, what is more advisable between modular type and Atomex in a server room?
It's a very clear choice. See, if you have, in a server room, then you are using a gas-based system. As Kaveri and I had discussed earlier, it is very clear that if you want more than one extinguisher or a ceiling mounted to run, I would advise going in for Atomex because the bulb-based system will have non-equal or non-synchronized output or discharge, which can hamper total extinguishment. You might have a suppression, but you will hamper the total extinguishment. So Atomex is a clear choice. That is why the Atomex was developed.
In Atomex, actually more than one of the units which has been installed on the ceiling can be controlled and they can discharge simultaneously, ensuring total fire is put out. However, that does not take away from the efficiency of the ceiling mounted. But the use of the ceiling mounted is different. It is for a smaller, more enclosed area, where one single unit on the ceiling is good enough for it to work.
And let me elaborate one of these scenarios. Say that you have different voids. Okay, you have a room void, you have a floor void, and you have a ceiling void. Supposedly, your fire starts from the room void. Now, it is eventually going to move on to the ceiling. It's going to move on to the base. My requirement is that I discharge gas and protect these areas prerequisite to when they would come into flame, as when Prasanna was asking, that I want to extinguish before the flames are. So I'm looking for a very hard hit on the fire, so I catch it very early and I save my servers from any kind of harm. So if I'm looking for that, Atomex is the case.
Is the right answer.
We give you a 1-year warranty on the system. The component ambient conditions in which the components have been maintained, the ambient conditions, temperatures, and all will affect the conditionality of the component. But of course, we say 10 years for the valve and the cylinder.
So the question here was, what is the validity or lifetime for each component? Girish, the system, as correctly pointed out here by Pranav, has a 1-year warranty. So we are open to questions now, but you could also write into us and you can ask us questions. We'll be very, very happy to respond to you. Plus, at the same time, we have a team of fire consultants all across. You may talk to any one of our fire consultants who also will be very happy to support you and give you responses to the queries that you have. So I don't see any other question coming in right now. And I would like to thank all the viewers for being with us and getting to know about both these total flooding system solutions.
Thank you for
so
joining
much.
us. And Kavin, do we have any other session planned now?
Not as yet.
Okay. So keep looking for our notifications and our callouts, and we will very soon get back to you with our next sessions. We keep on doing these sessions. So
I
watch out
guess
for-
our next one could be on the new fire alarm system, which is, I think, slotted for the 23rd.
23rd of this month.
Yes.
Wow, I will be waiting to watch that.
So will I.
Okay, Manish, do you have any question that we need to look at?
Yes.
Okay,
Last
could you
question.
read that out for me?
A single unit of 5 kg Atomex can cover what area?
See, Prasanna, we are looking at the same kind of concentration, that is 7%, which amounts to about 0.548 kgs per cubic meter requirement. So if you're looking at 5 kg, I would
This
say
is max.
approximately about 10 cubic
This is
meter.
for the powder version.
He's asking for clean agent 5 kg as
Okay.
opposed.
Okay.
Prasanna, I hope I've answered your question. Will I see the question again?
All right. Thank you so much, Prasanna. Thank you, viewers. And we'll catch you next on 23rd of March for an amazing session on the fire alarm systems. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. Bye.